Hey there, are you wondering if you really need a real estate agent to buy your house? Well, today we're going to talk about all the things that a real estate agent does for buyers. And trust me, it's a lot more than you might think. By the time we're done, you'll have an understanding of how having the right agent at your side will save you time, money, and stress. Let's go. If this is your first time visiting the channel, and if you want to know everything there is about the Houston market and Houston's best real estate, then subscribe below and be sure to tap the bell. That way you'll be among the first to know about the Houston market and Houston's best real estate. And by the way, I'm Michael Hughes. I'm a Texas real estate broker and a Texas real estate attorney of more than 20 years. And along with my wife and business partner, Carol Hughes, we help folks just like you buy and sell Houston's best real estate. The home buying process sure can seem overwhelming, especially if it's your first time. But even if you've bought a house before, it's probably been a couple of years at least, and in that time, it's very likely that the rules or maybe even the entire process has changed. And that's why it's so important to have a great real estate agent at your side. Having a great agent gives you your own personal guide, your own real estate concierge, leading you through and helping you through each step of the process. From that first conversation all the way through to the closing date, we handle the details, explain the paperwork and the process, make sure that you don't miss any important deadlines, and generally just keep the process moving forward, all the while looking out to protect your best interests. Now, sometimes I get asked, yeah, but is it required to have a real estate agent to buy a house? And the short answer to that is no, it's not mandatory for you to have a real estate agent to help you buy a house. But then again, you don't have to have an attorney if you get called into court, but it's a really good idea if you do. And the same goes for a lot of other things. You could do it yourself, sure, but is that something that is in your best interest? Think about all kinds of things. Think about repairing a roof, doing surgery on yourself, going skydiving for the first time, or in my case, going clothes shopping without your wife. Sure, I could do it, but is it a good idea? Ultimately, your real estate agent is your advocate. We watch out for your best interests and we guide you through the process. Your real estate agent does a lot more than just show homes. We utilize our experience and expertise in the local market to locate properties that match your wants, needs, priorities, and that fit within your budget. And sometimes we can identify these properties early, maybe even before they hit the market. But more than that, we can also spot red flags during showings that you might not see or that you might overlook. As full-time real estate agents, Carol and I see a lot of houses, all different styles, different decor, different stages of upkeep, and all with different problems. By having an agent at your side whose spidey senses are tingling because they've spotted a red flag, identifying those early can save you from costly mistakes down the road. The ticket to success at this stage of the process is being open and honest with your agent about your wants, your needs, and your priorities in your next home. That way we can find the home that matches them faster. For Carol and I, we are happy to sit down with you and work through this process together to identify specific features in your next home that are must-have type features or would be nice kind of features, or even definitely not in my house kind of features. And then we can craft a search that matches that to find your perfect home. One of the biggest advantages to having an agent at your side comes in the negotiation part of the process. Working to protect your interests, we negotiate with the other side to get the best price and the best terms possible for you. Now, negotiating a real estate transaction is different from any other type of negotiation that you might have been involved with in the past. For example, commercial contracts or negotiating an automobile purchase or haggling at the farmer's market, whatever it is. A real estate transaction has so many different moving parts, all of which can be tailored or changed to come to an arrangement that both sides can agree to. Having an experienced full-time agent at your side, and in my case, an attorney of 20 years with extensive training and experience in negotiation, means that Carol and I can tailor the purchase agreement to resolve differences. Whether it's negotiating repairs after an inspection, or dealing with a multiple offer situation, or perhaps even negotiating with the builder sales representative to maximize the buyer's incentives, having an experienced pro in your corner can make all the difference. Paperwork. Now let's be real. There is a ton of paperwork involved in purchasing a home. There's the purchase agreement, the buyer-broker agreement, the addenda, the add-ons, the amendments, the contingencies, the inspection reports, the appraisal report, on and on and on it goes. And what's even better, these documents can and very often do change, so that the form that we were using last week is not the form that we're required to use this week. There are dollar amounts, deadlines, contingency dates, check boxes, and one mistake on these forms can lead to delays or added expense, or in worst case scenarios, the loss of the deal entirely. Isn't it nice to have a trained professional who can handle all this paperwork and then just explain to you what it all means? As professional full-time agents, Carol and I are very well versed in all of the documentation that can arise in any circumstance in a home purchase. We keep track of the changes so that you don't have to worry about it. And as your agent, we will ensure that all of your paperwork is filled out correctly so that your interests are protected to the greatest extent possible. Now, sometimes, despite all of our best efforts, problems can arise in even the smoothest real estate transactions. Maybe it's an unexpected inspection issue. Maybe it's some sort of financing delay. Maybe the appraisal report came back with a value that is less than the contract price. Whatever it may be, as your agent, my role is to troubleshoot the problem, identify solutions, and keep the transaction moving towards the closing date. Now, let's flip the script just for a moment and think about what would happen if you, as the buyer, did not have an agent on your side. Well, in that case, you would be left on your own to handle the negotiations, all the legal paperwork, all the deadlines, and any problems that might arise in the process. If the seller has an agent, or if you're dealing with a new home builder purchasing new construction, then you would be up against a real estate professional who is obligated to act in the seller's best interest and not yours. That person might be highly experienced and have training in negotiation that would enable them to obtain the highest price, best terms on behalf of the seller, but unfortunately, they would not be acting to protect you or your interests. Many buyers without representation end up paying more for the property than they otherwise would have, or sometimes they are pressured into accepting unfavorable contract terms, unfavorable repair amendments, or other changes to the transaction by the seller. Sometimes buyers without representation will miss important deadlines because they just didn't know about them, which results in lost money and lost opportunity. And in worst case scenarios, I have seen transactions fall through entirely simply because the buyer had no one advocating on their behalf. Look, the stakes in a real estate purchase are quite high. Avoid unnecessary risk and stress by working with a professional real estate agent such as Carol or myself from day one. Let us help you through this process. And there you have it. Your real estate agent does a lot more than just show pretty houses. We handle the details, we handle problems, we watch out for your best interests, and we keep the process moving along towards the closing date. If you're ready to start your home buying journey, reach out. I would love to help find you the perfect home. Now, whether you are ready to start your home buying journey next week, next month, or even next year, Carol and I would love to help make your next home purchase smooth and worry-free. So click on the link below to set up a free one-on-one Zoom consultation. Or, of course, you can always give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. We are never too busy to hear from you, and we are looking forward to helping you buy or sell Houston's best real estate.